Hi, everybody. Welcome to issue 6 of 7 of Mask's Titan, the penultimate story of our actual play, where the Vanguards are facing up to the troublesome machinations of the Maestro and others in Union City. Where we saw them last time, they'd made good with Team T. They'd managed to get Juanita Sanchez out of Rethink Inc.'s hidden lab, but unfortunately something went wrong at the end, and as I tried to get out, poor Pop and Jay was captured in Rethink Inc. And whereas we've done sort of setup today, one of the players has asked to build into that idea that they have been captured by a supervillain and what goes on after that. So we're going to pick up, I think, pretty much with an opening scene of Reclamation Point, which is the team's base. And in Reclamation Point, last time Tank wasn't with us, but that's because Tank was moving their Sanctum as a doomed playbook into Reclamation Point. So what's changed in Reclamation Point from the outside or inside, Tank? Let's give you that opening scene.
Okay, so I think there was a, I think there was like a disused, aircraft hangar, but it was down low. It was like a storage area down low in like the basement, and Tank has essentially been sneaking back and forth and renovating that with the help of Vash.
Grand. So does it still feel like the junkyard? Does it feel more like the alien tech and computing that powers Tank? What is it?
Oh, it definitely feels like alien tech. I mean, he's sort of disassembled bits and pieces of the alien mech and spread that around to make the access points more easier to get to and whatnot. So it's basically got a disassembled alien mech spread across the walls in ways that you can more easily access the tech. So it's looking very alien.
Awesome. Grand. So the team is back. A few seconds, or probably more minutes actually than seconds, but a few minutes after the rest of the team reappear. Pop and Jay will also reappear, but I want to pick up almost in this area with Tank as the team teleport in. Well, specifically, it was Bobby B and Papillon that would teleport in, and Glitch had made their own way out. But I think let's have the team arriving back without Pop and Jay at the moment after their tumultuous battle in the last issue. I'm going to give the spotlight immediately to Papillon, who's, I think, wounded, injured, coming to the senses. How are you going to react, Papillon?
I believe he's looking around, like, Bobby B. He's hanging off Bobby B as like support because he still needs that like stability. He looks around, sees Tank's upgraded things, and then just like does that heroic step forward, immediately fall to the knee. Hero stance without having to have jumped 20 stories to land in it, and just like, wait, I didn't bring him. Where is he?
You mean Pop and Jay?
Yes, he was supposed to be back with us.
I don't know why he's not here yet, but he was like in beast mode. Like he was like the final boss in Call to Action 7, that takes like 20 tries to beat. Like if I didn't know him, I would have been legit scared to be in a room with him. I don't think there's any way anything bad could have happened to him. I'd be more worried about Rethink Inc. at this point. He'll be here any minute, I'm sure. I trust him.
Are you trying to comfort and support me?
Yeah. Like, he's your dude, and I'm telling you, like, I completely believe in him, and he's a badass. So,
Okay.
and well, out of character, I know that it was not good to leave him there. In character, I did totally believe that he was, like, on it. So, Bobby B, that's me on the dice roller. Comfort and support is mundane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do I have influence over you, Jerry? I remember
believe
you
you
took
should.
it away, but yeah, you put it back. Okay, so
I think
+1.
Glitch took it away from you.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. Or no, you burned it at one point, but then you gave it back.
No,
Either way.
I burned my influence on you, and then you gave it back to me.
That's right. Okay. Either way, that's an 8, including the +1. So I always have to look at the moods for the actual options. I'm sorry. I think after all this, hold on. So it is a hit. So you can mark a potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up to me.
I think Jerry will like give a wry smile. It's like, yeah, he was brilliant when he was doing that. I mean, I've never seen that. I mean, I like beef, but he was going ham.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna need some pointers from him. You know, once it doesn't look like asking for a pointer might like get one of my legs chopped off. Not that he would do that. I'm just saying. He looked pretty intense.
If he can teach anyone to do that, that'd be insane. But I think I'm going to shift my own labels from this comfort and support.
So let's have Juanita and Glitch arrive at this point as well. Assuming, by the way, Glitch, you bring in Juanita here back safely rather than going somewhere else. But do tell me if you want to frame it differently.
I hadn't thought of that, but I think that would be that would make things interesting. Yeah. I mean, and I think, given the intensity of the escape and also not knowing how the other team has fared, it would make sense that Glitch would make a quick bead back to the reclamation point.
Cool. Yeah. So you can hear the commotion upstairs as they do arrive, Tank. How are you reacting to this? Vash is sort of going, oh, look, honey, the kids are home.
Just take care of your flowers, Vash. There is what's it called? Like a greenhouse area with artificial lighting that Vash has installed off to the side.
Hydroponics, yeah.
So Tank walks upstairs to greet the rest of the team. He's got like his armor suit has extruded like these mechanical claws and wrenches and whatnot over his shoulders since he's renovating. But he walks upstairs to see what's happening with the rest of the team, kind of covered in grease and stuff. So I think he walks in on this scene as
yeah. The team are obviously looking pretty beat up.
Okay, so Tank's gonna run up to. I think Tank would run up to Bobby B and say, "What happened, boss?"
Oh man, dude. If I had known you could be like the Terminator with all those gadgets. Well, anyway. Things got a little bit messed up. We went Glitch has I'll let Glitch tell you about that situation. I don't really quite understand. But we had to go rescue Juanita, that reporter, from Rethink Inc. And there is some whack stuff going on there. Like way more whack, like wiggity whack. And well, a lot of stuff has happened really. There's too much to explain, but Popinjay seems to have turned into some like super god Hulk thing, and is still there. As far as I know, taking out bad guys by being terrifying, really, really scary. And Jerry got hurt, but he's back here now, and we're gonna take care of him. And well, I think we've got a lot to talk about as a team. I think we should wait until Popinjay gets back, but there's some bad things going on, I think, with like shape-shifting robots. Is that what they were, guy? Or I guess I'll just ask Jerry, which left.
I think
before.
they don't shapeshift. I think they have holographic technology, but results similar.
Well, I think I got the base upgraded. You can check that out, I guess, if you want to, but it sounds like more important things are happening.
I mean, if you upgraded it so that it could detect that someone isn't, like if someone's using a hologram, that probably would be good. Those things were no joke.
So, David, what I'm doing in there, would that actually have upgraded the defenses?
Yeah, I'm very happy that that is the case. This effectively, you can extend this entire, around the reclamation point, you could treat it as if it was your sanctum.
Okay.
I think that's why you were bringing it in, right? To reinforce and to bring everything closer together.
Yeah, I think I've got it. And like one of the mechanical arms like wipes a towel across Tank's head and like wipes grease away.
Dude, what else can this thing do now? Can it help? Can it help Jerry? Does it like?
Maybe.
Is there like a healing booth?
Yeah, actually. Out of character. Hang on. Let me look. I think I actually did put that in.
I didn't actually check, but I remember that was one of the things some sanctuaries have is like healing.
Yeah,
stuff, so.
It actually is a thing in my sanctuary. So, yeah, Jerry, let me take you down, and we might have to talk about a few things, but yeah, I think I can fix you up.
Bobby B claps you on the shoulder. It's like, so grateful you're on the team, man. This is awesome.
I'm gonna be me, right? I'm not gonna like come out with rocket launchers on my shoulders.
Do you want rocket launchers on your shoulders?
Not ones I can't remove.
Yeah, that's
I'll take
probably
the
fair.
rocket launchers. Is there a rocket launcher option? This place seems able to do anything. I'm down.
No, I don't think you want what I've got.
All right, man. I was just asking. It's cool. It's cool. Go ahead, Jerry. You go. You'll be better like in a minute. I bet. It's all gonna be good, and then Popinjay will be back, and we're gonna figure out a strategy.
So Tank like wraps his arms around Jerry's shoulder and like kind of leads him down and is like, it might look a little different. I've done some redecorating.
Is my garden still okay? Or my park?
Yeah, that's fine.
And yeah, that should be fine. I think this will be I think like the next panel is like walking into like this should be whoa, just like wide-eyed amazement at what's happened.
Yeah, so the basement's like completely full of this like alien tech, I think, in the picture, and there's like lots of, flashy orange or purples and blues and stuff, and like bright lights and everything down there. And of course, Vash is like tending his plants in this very high-tech looking horticulture area, but there is a med bay.
Yeah, I think Vash. I don't think anyone's met Vash before. Will wave and say, "People say, hi, I'm Vash. Nice to meet you." Whoa, what happened to you?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Jerry, and lots of robots. Just a lot of robots at once.
That sounds like a story. Why don't I make you a nice cup of tea?
I like you. He'll just, I think he'll sort of like limp forward and find a place to sit and let them, like the med bay, start treating him.
Okay, so back upstairs with Glitch. Sort of Bonita collapses into one of the sofas. She's scared, but the most of the damage I think she took was when, so to speak, was when you were breaking your way out. So she looks at Glitch and says, "So, is that like a day in the office for you, Glitch?"
Well, I've been through a lot of stuff, but no, I would not consider that to be the completely normal fare. How about you? Is that is today kind of what is a typical day in the life of Juanita Sanchez?
Most of my investigating reporting normally doesn't get me chained up in a secret supervillain dungeon, if that's what you're asking. But I'm really glad I have friends to look out for me.
Look, Juanita, I don't think the other team members are necessarily going to be happy to see you here. This is kind of like our turf, but I think you've got to let us know what's going on. I mean, I kind of busted in there literally just because I knew that you were in trouble, but I don't know the full story of what exactly was going on underground beneath Rethink Inc.
So, why won't your friends be happy to see me?
Well, let's just say that they don't trust the Fourth Estate.
She looks sort of a little crestfallen and goes, "Yeah, well, we haven't really managed our reputation that well recently. But I tried to be honest to you guys every time. If you're going to stand up for something, it's also important that you call out if you act like assholes. And if that stops us from being friends, Glitch, then, you know, that stops us from being friends."
Well, look, I think, first of all, I wouldn't necessarily, I'm part of this team, but I don't necessarily think exactly the same way that the rest of the team does about various things. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm not your kind of normal kind of person. I mean, I've you know, I've transformed myself, and nobody can deny that. And so I think I sometimes, my circuits work down different paths. But look, Juanita, I think at this point, I think what would help me and what would help the team would be a little bit of information about what was going on.
Okay. So here's what I've figured out. This is like a big team up moment, right? So I am 100% sure that Snakebite is working with Rethink Inc. More specifically, I'm like 85% sure that Beatrice Bach, the founder of Rethink Inc., is actually Sayamaki, and between the two of them, they're controlling the AI network that's powering the smart city here. And those robots, those things, that's their plan. They're taking over the city. They've got doppelgangers everywhere. And if my records are correct, she sort of pulls out the camera phone and sort of she says, look here. And she shows you a photo of the mayor, of some of the lead anchors, and also of Dr. W and the Silver Sentinel. Said, I think they've even taken over some of the Titans. This is serious.
Okay, I think at this point, hearing this glitch, you see him, you probably get a couple panels, him being very quiet, and you see him kind of intently looking Juanita up and down and trying to kind of take careful note of her appearance. And then Glitch at the end of this busts out the question of, okay, and if you see him also getting nervous, and you see him then at the end asking the question, if what you say is true, how do I know that you're not a plant?
Sounds like to me you're trying. Are you trying to assess the situation or pierce the mask? Which do you think is?
I think I'm trying to pierce the mask because it's going through Glitch's mind right now that with all this kind of cloned artificial robots intelligence, that Juanita may not be who Juanita says she is. So this is on mundane. To remind myself of so this is going to be a straight up roll. Glitch is not very good at reading people. He rolled a snake eyes on that.
Oh, mark potential. To which point she looks at you from the seat and says, yeah, like you know what to do with a real girl if there was one anyway, Glitch. And that point, we see Popinjay lands into the base. I'm just going to take a slight time out a second because I'm sure everyone is probably aware of the fact there's going to be a doppelganger Popinjay, and especially as one of the characters is connected to them in the game, I want to make sure that we are totally okay with any consent or actions to be using Popinjay. And if anyone feels uncomfortable at any point, just shout a pause and then we'll take an action of it. But there is a doppelganger Popinjay around. Let's cut to the real Popinjay, who sort of comes round, and your senses are still sharp. And probably the first thing that your senses detect is that this is not quite the normal atmospheric composition of Earth, and the air smells really recycled. You are restrained, Popinjay. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna use all of my senses to, feel the stone and nail down those odd smells and listen for what I can hear and try to assess the situation.
Please do be assessing the situation.
And could I have the roll for your party link?
Yeah. There you go.
So, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask what, or I forgot to look rather.
Superior for assess the
Um,
situation.
it's superior.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got an 8 on the dice, and my superior is 2, but I'm insecure.
So that brings you back down to an 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. No, insecure doesn't take off anything off assess the situation. So you're still on.
Oh,
Guilty
okay.
is assess the situation. So you're in 10.
Oh, okay. I thought that the conditions related directly to the
You have a
status.
-1 superior, so you should be at a 7 total because you're not
Oh,
guilty yet.
oh, okay. What was, oh, I was looking at Savior. I'm sorry. Okay, right. So a 7.
Grand. So that means you can ask one question.
Who or what here is most vulnerable to me? Presumably when I'm not, uh, you know, restrained or whatever. Like if I had my.
So as your eyes sort of adjust to the gloomy light, this is what you see. You're in a series of sort of force shielded walled prison cells. And in the room, as your eyes adjust, you see the form as they touch the hand, the alien form of Talon the Conqueror, who smiles at you. Talon the Conqueror, to remind people back because we haven't so far. Well, glitches, not glitches. Try that again. Tanks, nemesis. They identify during a character create. And you awaken and you sort of see around you. In another cell, you can see Peregrine, who is similarly restrained. And then literally...
Did he just pause for everyone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
He was
He's
freezing.
gonna
There
come
we
back
go.
as the doppelganger.
Oh, he's moving again.
Tank. What was the alien horde? Was it the horde? I can't remember what
The
the name of the
Legion.
alien race is. The Legion. Yeah, because the Legion soldiers. So the Legion soldiers are most vulnerable to you.
I think
And
we missed some there, David. You froze up.
oh, did I freeze up? Sorry, folks. I did. Let me try that again. Let's go back from the top. So in this force shielded room, you have a captured Peregrine, a captured Dr. W, and we have yourself, Poppin J. Talon the Conqueror and Legion soldiers are there looking down or at you through the cell wall. Their hand sort of touches out and reaches towards you. And Talon sort of smiles and says, "Oh, look, it's a family affair. We have both of the little canaries in their cage. So the most vulnerable to you at this present moment in time is going to be the Legion soldiers, but they are on the other side of the force walls. You'd have to be able to get out." You are restrained, Pop and J, and there are lots of little robots cluttering around the cell with you, and something feels odd about you. You can't quite put your finger on it yet. How do you react?
Um, I'm gonna not irrationally, but check all of my bonds and see if they um, if there's something I can work with to that I can break myself out.
So let me re-answer that. What is most vulnerable to you is as you stretch against it, you can sort of feel it move slightly. These things have been calibrated before your eruption of power, and though it will be to the upper strains of what you can do, you think they've made a mistake. They don't realize how strong you are now. But am I frozen? Am I here? Is Marco frozen?
Yes, Marco's frozen.
Marco's frozen. I'm going like, was that me or was that Marco? Marco's frozen. We'll come back to Marco when he's back. So, yeah, let's go back to Reclamation Point where the other Pop and Jay arrives, who looks slightly scuffed but not too bad, and is in the same room because everyone else was downstairs with you, Glitch. I don't know where Bobby was. Did Bobby go downstairs or Bobby elsewhere in the base?
I think Bobby would have gone down with Jerry.
Cool. So it's just Glitch and Pop and Jay then.
Yeah, I mean, I think Glitch, first of all, is completely unsettled by or very awkward with Juanita right now, and Pop and Jay appears, and Glitch that kind of breaks Glitch out of his embarrassment, and he says, Pop and Jay, we I don't think we were expecting you so soon. Glad you made it out. Is everything okay?
He says it's fine. I managed to get out. Why did Bobby and Jerry leave me?
Look, I don't think they left you in the sense of kind of intentionally leaving you behind. It was well, it was a mess in there. I mean, I'm just ecstatic. My circuits are popping just because everybody's back.
Popping. That's like a cool joke.
Yeah. That was strange.
Yes. Where's Jerry? Are they okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's kind of ruffled up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we're back. I mean, everybody's now accounted for.
I'm gonna go see Jerry. Okay.
Yeah. Jerry is Jerry's gonna be so glad to see you back.
Let's flip to the other characters for a while downstairs. So you doing something to sort of assist with Jerry's healing here, Tank? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think Tank is sort of crouched down next to the little med bay that Jerry is laying down in, and he's making minute adjustments with all these multi-tools that have extruded from his armor to make sure that the med bay is working on a human physiology.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots of, does that feel any better? And, lots of little zaps to Jerry when things go wrong.
Yeah, I think Jerry is just like, does that feel better? It's like, yes, like, and then like we see like the shock, no, and then like, okay, that's better. Like, then like something starts like brushing against his feet, that tickles. just like a different panels, like his face, like composed, composed, composed.
Cheap animation, right? So, but I can see your conditions are cleared, so there's no need for me to sort of ask if anyone wants to. But you are being supported by Tank. So if Tank does want to comfort and support you, they're more than welcome to do so.
I'm also there. Oh, go ahead, Tank.
Oh, I was just going to say, so does that count like comfort and support, or do I need to, you want me to role play that out or what?
I think you sort of try. I think Tank giving shit and using this alien stuff as careful as they can to support. Papillon feels strong enough for me, so I'm happy for you to roll for it. If you want to continue to role play it through, you go for it.
No, I'll go ahead and roll for that. That sounds good to me. It's not going to be a good roll. It's my mundane. So that's a 3.
So shall we say that Tank's bedside manner needs some work then, as you have forgotten to bring up the medical instruments and thermometers to room temperature.
And it can also be like Jerry is like really focusing on Bobby B at this point. Like, Bobby B and Jerry have been through a lot, and it's like, every time Tank tries to check in on Jerry, like Jerry's checking in with Bobby. Like, there's not giving him any chance to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I was gonna say, like, Bobby B is down there and will not leave Jerry's side until he's healed, because like Jerry's part of the team and was injured in the course of duty, and Bobby considers it his responsibility as a friend and team leader to like look after his team after a battle. So like you'd have to pry him away, pretty much.
So I think in that case, Pappy, you're starting to feel, it takes a little bit of time to feel better, but you're doing so. And then Poppin' Jay comes down the stairs and comes across to you. And he sort of goes, Jerry, you're okay. And gives you a big hug.
Yeah, and I'll, I guess he's like lifting me off the table, bringing me into his hugs. Like, Jay, you came back. How did you? You weren't able to do that before. How did you? And I'll put my hand on his cheek just to. Do I feel anything? It's like this happens. Or no, I think I'm like, how did you do this? How did you do all of this? You've changed. I think I want to pierce his mask.
That sounds cool to me.
Well, that was going to be amazing. It is now just an 8.
Oh. That still gets you to ask one question.
Yes. Let's see. What do you want me to do?
I want you to bring me up to speed on what you know about the villainous master plan.
You would know more about that. I mean, didn't you? Didn't you get something at Rethink Inc.? I mean, you were taking out those robots. You had to have brought one back, right?
I had to fight to get out of there after you you abandoned me, Jerry.
You told me to go. You told us to go.
Dude, you were like, I thought you were going to take down the building in a good way. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I didn't think you needed our help. I thought the important thing to all of us, and especially you, would be to get Papillon back for help after he got hurt.
Jay, put me down.
And she was trying to say, and what would you know, Bobby B? You're not even a real superhero.
I mean, what I know is that you were one of the first people to congratulate me when it was decided I would lead the team. Bobby's not the smartest, but starting to be suspicious here.
Do you want to pierce the mask?
I think I do. I don't know if I'm good at that
I
or
just want to
not.
ask: was that an attempt to tell Bobby B who they are?
Yeah, probably. I would
think that'd
think.
be cool.
I would think
Oh.
you're right. Yeah, because you still think this is Pop and Jay. So them saying that they don't think you're a real superhero is probably going to kick, right? Are you going to accept or reject that influence?
It's hard to say because what it really did was make me suspicious because I don't think Papa Jay would say that, let alone guilt trip Jerry. So, like,
Sounds like
I
you're
think I
rejecting it
would,
then, right?
yeah, I think I would try to reject it.
So that's a flat roll.
Okay. Let's see. It's an 8.
So that's a soft hit, right? So from the influence moves, you can clear condition or mark potential by proving them wrong, shift a label, or cancel influence and take +1 forward against them.
Ooh. Those are all very tempting options right there. I will. Hold on. Let me look at them one more time because my brain is bad at remembering them all. Where did the reject some of the things there is? Can I get like a quick team vote on either taking +1 forward against them or marking? But actually, I'll mark potential to immediately prove them wrong.
Sure.
Because that gives me an advance. And also, I'm going to prove them wrong because I really think this is not Papa J, and I'm going to act on that, even though it's hard. And that's what a hero would do.
Cool. So how do you react?
Look, you look a lot like Papa J, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and hearing about how he kicked like everyone's butts at Rethink Inc. But I don't think I want to hear it from you. Pop and Jay would never guilt Papillon like that. And Pop and Jay was happy for me when I got leadership of the team. And you just seem like a jerk. I don't think you're Pop and Jay.
Pop and Jay's sort of head sort of goes down because you're right. I'm terrible programming, but I really couldn't be bothered with sidekicks just like you. And then I would like everyone to take a powerful blow as the robot explodes.
Jesus. Okay.
But let's cut back to Pop and Jay at the moment while you do those rolls. So everyone in the building is going to take a powerful blow as reclamation point is exploded. Pop and Jay, as I say, Talon is sort of tapping their fingers and saying, "Oh, I'm so glad you're awake, Pop and Jay. I was worried after the augmentations and the procedures that you would be broken. But it is good to see that you are here. There are further treatments to go before you're ready to serve the master, but your time as a hero is over. You are one of us now.
Um, so I did miss what you were saying as I crashed about what happened. You were changing the uh, what's vulnerable to me. Were you saying that it was
Adding more
changing?
to it, yeah. The bonds around you that are holding you, your upper limits of your strength, they're not calibrated for that. They don't realize you've become stronger, and you're probably stronger than Popinjay at Peregrine now. So it's just not ready for you. So there is a chance for you to break out.
Okay. I guess no time like the present. I'm going to prove him wrong by ripping the chains out and maybe sticking them in his face.
So you're going to need to unleash your powers to break free. Still at the upper limits of what you can do.
And that's freak, so
Mm-hmm.
straight up. So I got an 8.
So you can either mark a condition, or I'm going to tell you how it's unstable.
I got enough conditions. Let's make it unstable.
Okay. So I think you're strong enough to tear the metal and the bonds holding you down, your arms and legs. Your wings flash up. What do we notice is different about Popinjay's wings?
I think they have attached some kind of devices on them that I don't never saw before, and I don't know what they do. But they're like clamped onto the wings,
Mm-hmm.
even though they can't pierce the invulnerable skin. They're on there, and they expect it to do something to me.
Grand. So you break free, and then you sort of arms pummel against the force screen, and you'll look like you're about to hit through it at one point, and then Talon says, "Oh, we learned this trick when the tank experiment failed." And you press there's a button is pressed as you sort of fall to your knees, and you can feel a real thorough pressure at your skull. For one moment, Tank, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we'll come back to the rolls in a minute. You can feel as if you're looking through Popinjay's eyes and see Talon and Peregrine and Dr. W as if something is connecting your two minds together.
Is he aware that he's looking through my eyes?
I think you sort of see them both. You sort of see that, and then you sort of see yourself at that split second looking back through Tank's eyes as you see yourself with your team, and then there's an explosion. You are not, unfortunately, strong enough to control your powers to break out of the cell. In fact, they seem to have switched you off and say, good. The bonds are holding. When you learn to control your temper, that is when you will be presented as a new servant of Helios. Let's go back to the rest of the group. How did your take a powerful blow rolls go? Let's go one by one. Glitch, how did that go for you?
I rolled a 3, so
Boom. I think that means also you managed to wrap your arms around Juanita as the roof comes down on top of you, ensuring that she is safe. Papillon, how did you go?
I got a 5.
You want to describe that?
I think it's like the usual thing of like the butterfly wings come out and enclose him in a psionic cocoon, right? It's like the robot bends down to explode.
Cool. Tank, how did that go for you?
I got a 4. So I think that when he had that, we're fine. I think that when he had that vision pop into his head, it caused him to react with so much panic that his armor suit essentially shot a force field around him that absorbed the force of the blow. So you see a scene where he sees through he sees through Popinjay's actual eyes, and then the red alarm flashes in his vision, and instantly a force field pops up around him and shields him.
Grant, and then you, Bobby B, how do you go?
Sadly, I got an 8. So I was going to lash out verbally. I mean, I was originally gonna like give a little bit of ground, thinking that people could like attack this thing, but it's already blown up, so that doesn't make any sense unless somebody else has an idea for that. But I'm gonna lash out verbally, and then just be like, Tank, I thought you would fortified. Like, we could have all just been killed.
So you sound like you're telling Tank who they are.
I don't want to be that mean, though.
That's the narrative, right? You rolled 7 to 9, so there's got to be a ramification to that. Which
I know. I wanted it to be like more of a failing in Bobby V's part in fighting the bad guy, but I can't fight something that blew up. So, yeah, I guess I'm telling Tank who he is a little. No, I'll just take some conditions. So let me figure out if it's okay to.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll let you
first.
figure those two out in a second. Above, a lot of the roofing has come down. There's been substantial damage to the building, even if you're not there. We see a look of Vash looking in sheer horror as their flower garden has been decimated. And Vash sort of looks back at Tank and says, "I'm going to kill those motherfuckers."
And Tank's just like in the scene looking bewildered, like, what just happened?
Cool. So look, yeah, well, most of you are downstairs at the moment, so let's see all the ones downstairs. Well, you've just asked that question. Almost everyone is shaking it off. What are you doing?
Jerry is looking at the robot, then looks at Tank. And is like, what's happened? Where is he? Do you know? Does anyone know?
My armor just glitched. I think he's on Helios's station with some of the Sentinels.
You can.
Or some of the Titans.
Can you get the others there?
I can if I have to.
You're going to have to. I'm not risking us all. And I would assume, David, that this how Popinjay is held counts as him being in danger.
I think so.
I am going to spend my hold to be in the scene with Popinjay and finish the scene with everyone else. But Jerry just teleports farther than he ever has. He heads to the Helios station.
Boom. Okay. So we see them disappear. Let's deal with Glitch a moment, because you've got like girders on your back. The roof of the reclamation point has come down. Glitches and tanks, cool mural on the wall cracked and plaster away, blocks thrown out. They just come into your home and done damage, but you're sort of there, and you've got your sort of protected Juanita, and she's looking up and going. So says, "You got to stop making this a regular thing, saving my life and all. We're going to get into debt. You know, I'm going to have to take you to dinner or something."
Well, first of all, this is definitely not a normal day at the office for me. There is, a kind of front on assault on the reclamation station is, not the typical thing. And he breathes and looks at Juanita and says, dinner sounds terrific, but I think for right now, I need to make sure that the others are okay. So they're downstairs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he says, we need to kind of see what has happened to the others, and takes Juanita by the hand and kind of makes his way to the stairway downstairs.
I think there's a panel where Tank is kind of in the back as Glitch is having that conversation, and then Tank sort of mutters, "Wow, Skippy, that was more painful than the explosion." And Tank is like extruding again, like mechanical arms and stuff, and picking up girders and trying to clear the wreckage and the rubble.
So the rest of the team, have they got a plan or an action to get to the Helios station? Or am I going to cut across to Papillon alone to begin with? Maybe we should have a scene with Papillon and Pop and Jay anyway, I think.
Can we have a scene where, because I think Tank really looks up to Bobby B as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, as Tank, there's a scene where Tank is like picking up all this stuff and trying to just clear it out of the way. And he asks kind of over his shoulder, "What's the plan, Bobby B? How are we getting there?" Is Pearl here?
Sorry, wrong button with the unmuting, or miss thumb, as it were. What is the plan? I don't know what the plan, like, Papillon has just disappeared, right?
Yep.
Tank, I need your advice. I mean, like, a leader's only as good as the rest of the team, right? So you're just as astute, if not more, as I am. And this was a lot, like, fake Pop and Jay in the building, and now Papillon's gone, and like, where's the real Pop and Jay? And is Glitch still with that reporter I don't like? Can you help me sort out my brain?
I think Juanita Sanchez, as you're saying that, just sort of puts her hands up in the back panel behind you with that look of going, "That was like a bitch. I'm just right here." It doesn't say anything. It's just in the back panel. You can see her looking right miffed at Bobby B.
She started it.
You see,
and
like,
I rescued her. Anyway, sorry.
the next panel is like Tank is frustrated because Bobby B is not, because everything's kind of gone to hell, and people are hearing and exploding, and no one's really taking charge. So you see like this panel where everyone's got those targeting reticles on them again.
Mhm.
And the next panel is him visibly like calming himself down. And then he says to Bobby B, if you can get everyone together, I think I can get us to the station.
I mean, I don't know how to get. That's the problem. I don't know where Papillon and the real Popinjay are. That's what I figured out that the fake Popinjay was fake, thank God, although the explosion was not optimal. But, like, where is he still, like, the Hulk? I mean, we don't know, do we? Do you know? Can you, like, tap into something? We gotta find them.
So I got a feed that Popinjay was on Helios station, and he walks over, and the next panel is him putting his hands on Bobby B's shoulders. We know where they are. We just need to go and help them.
Well, then let's do that. Let's do that right now. Glitch. If Juanita's behind me, presumably I figured out by now that Glitch is here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Miss Sanchez, are you all right now?
Oh yeah. I'm fine. I was checking for a moment that I wasn't invisible or something, but I'm just fine.
Okay.
Oh, save the world, Vanguard.
That's the idea. Into the fray. Please be safe on your way home, ma'am. Glitch, we got to get out of here. I'm gonna try to unleash my powers, I think, to teleport us all there, unless... Wait, which of you two can teleport? One of you can, right? Glitch and Tank?
Tank can do it by putting one on the Doom track.
I'm gonna leave that up to Steven, whether he wants to do that or not.
Yeah, so I think Tank is like mentally preparing, and so his armor springs out and he goes into like full combat mode. So, think of like War Machine, Iron Man.
Okay. You look terrifying. That's awesome. Everyone on the team appears to have turned into like some sort of movie like terror, which I can appreciate. If you think you can get there, I think I can take Glitch. I've managed to teleport with people before now, or phase, I guess. I don't know what to call it anymore, but you think you can get there? Tank?
Yeah, let's
All right.
do this.
Yeah,
and
we'll meet in front of the building, and we go in together. Don't go in unless we're all there, all right?
Let's have one person choose to roll for unleashing their powers, and as we didn't see Tank last session, I'm going to give them the opportunity to make that roll and describe what happens, please.
I think Tank would just need to spin Doom.
Yeah, that's correct. You're still going to unleash their powers, but yeah, right. You just need to try to use an ability from any play but one time.
Yeah, I'm just deciding if I want to use what's unleash? Hang on. Sorry.
Or do you want to? Have you got bolstered? I can't remember which one you've got.
Yeah, so I can either wield or unleash, and I'm trying to figure out which one makes more sense. Okay, I'll wield. I think it sounds more like he's really trying to do it correctly. So
Okay.
Same thing anyway. Okay, so he got an 11. So I think when he, like teleports in, he's going to teleport in like this crackling bubble of energy, and that crackling bubble of energy actually impacts some of the Legionnaires that are on the station and like blows them out, and knocks them down away from the team. So neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now. And I think as the group like disappears from Reclamation Point, there's a scene of Vash turning around and saying, "Hey, where'd my suit go?" And like the mech suit has also been, or Tank also took the mech suit with its armament with him to the station.
Oh, okay. So I think we'll pick up over the page for that after our break this morning. So moving to a third-person view. Everything we've seen so far has been a first-person perspective of Poppin J, as you see Papillon teleport in. What does Poppin J look like to Papillon at this point? What has changed about you, Poppin J? If you want to pass narration over or ask for help, do feel free to do that. But I don't think the agency should be taken away from you.
I was thinking I'm looking a lot like a cyborg at the moment. That metal encases parts of my body, and there's magical runes that glow on the technology, because the maestro knows how to mix magic and technology, and so he doesn't have to cut through my invulnerable skin magically. It just has to clamp on, so magically it taps into the spirit, and he's able to use like agonizers or something, and inflict pain and knock me out. Part of the re-education process.
Cool. So I think the technology is more, I would just say, rather than bringing, I think the technology is more Talon and brain has gone.
Sayamaki.
No, it's Talon and Helios, who are the aliens that connect back to Tank. So I think it's in that alien writing and that cybernetics, and it's sort of like a bio-cybernetic frame that you'll say that has taken hold of you. Similar, really, I suppose, the tech that Tank I would say wears or is worn by, perhaps, but it's similar to that. As we see you arrive and you look at that change, Jerry, how do you react? Again, Talon and the guards are just, I think you've arrived outside a cell. They're there. You've got a few split seconds to react. We can see, I say, Peregrine, Dr. W in other cells here.
And Papillon will just like see that, and like there's just this moment of like pure agony on his face of just seeing what has become of Poppin J and not knowing if it can be reversed. And then then I think it's this one panel of his jaw like setting. There's like a popping sound of like just getting ready. It's like, no, this won't stand.
And I think Talon looks at you, you've just appeared, and the guards, she says, seize them, or seize him. It's just before the others arrive. But how do you want to react to the guards drawing their weapons?
Oh, I'm gonna draw my. I look like I'm gonna post the picture into chat, but instead of a sword, a double-bladed axe. But yeah, just the psionic weapons just come right out, and the like butterfly helm begins.
Awesome. Are you unleashing your moment of truth, or are you hitting with the powers?
Oh, I am unleashing my moment of truth. This will not be.
Okay. So I think this is the moment where Tank and the rest arrive, come barreling into the Legion soldiers, leaving you looking at Talon, and then you control the narrative until such point as you wish to cede it.
I think Talon is the one that like launches first, like some kind. I'm imagining if Talon has like, the same kind of tech that Tank has, that she have more control of it. Like those rocket launchers come out, and several rockets get fired at Jerry, and he holds up the shield. The shield splinters into the myriad of butterflies, each one wrapping around one of the missiles, like drowning out its explosion. And he is launching himself at her. There is like a few panels of him swinging his axe against her, just like pure, if for all the D&D nerds, like barbarian rage of just slamming it down. Huge guttural chunks of the ship being sheared off as his powers are now manifesting both psionically and physically to affect both worlds. And at every swipe he takes, the butterfly mask around his head is getting bigger and bigger, and he finally he's getting Talon on the run, and he sweeps like one axe swipe at her. She holds up the arm, like the armor like splinters a bit. Popinjay believes in me. Swings again. He shatters the next like the other gauntlet. Diego believes in me. Raises the axe up and brings it down to like shatter her breastplate. Emperor Norton believes in me. Like and again the butterfly is getting bigger and bigger. He raises the axe, like just slams the like flat of the blade against her head. The Vanguard believe in me. And like at this point, the butterfly around his head has grown to the size of Mothra. It is just big, beautiful, detailed, like this one-page spread. They've taught me that I can believe in me, and I believe your time has come. And just the gigantic butterfly engulfs her, just swarming her full of psionic energy, which will leech off, I think, to the Legionnaires, and everything else is and like maybe as the power sort of explodes, disperses into just the myriad and flock of butterflies, it starts landing on the cells, and Papillon like leans against the axe but doesn't fall. And I believe we can win. I will cede narrative.
Hey, so I think at that point, the lights of the butterflies start drifting away, and everyone can see the devastation in the room. The force shields are down. You can see the change to Popinjay. The Peregrine is looking over and is obviously has been crying as she's seen what has happened to Popinjay, unable to help or stop. And then we can see Dr. W, who is also still bound. Elsewhere on Helios station, looking out into the burning fires of the sun, a chair, or more of a throne, turns, and a figure that looks like a what would happen if Tank was to truly lose control of this bio armor right around them, eyes glowing? Sort of Helios looks and goes, if you need to do something, do it yourself. And we see Helios step away from the throne. But back down to the throne room. The throne room, the prison cells even. Not the throne room, prison cells. Let's Bobby, as team lead, you've just seen this go down. You can see two of the Titans are bound. You can see that Popinjay is, though they broke themselves free, does seem to be damaged in some way. What do you do? And you are muted.
Stupid buttons. I would rush over to Popinjay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, dude, what happened? You were like I thought you were gonna like blow the whole place down. You were so ragey and badass and everything, and now are you all right? Like,
They
we were worried.
they sent a Papillon bot.
I know. I figured it out because it wasn't nice, and you're such a good person. So it didn't take very much to see that it wasn't you, because
What was
we
it?
figured out it wasn't you, the bot thing, because it wasn't kind, and you're kind. And once we realized that it wasn't you and that maybe something was wrong,
I meant that
we came.
they calmed me down. They sent a bot that looked
Oh.
just like Jerry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. I'm so flustered because you are the real Popinjay this time, right?
I think
can you just
I
help
looked down
us?
at myself for the first time, and I stare at the changes, and like I had no idea that I was different. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn to Peregrine and help her up and say, Auntie, what do I do?
So Peregrine is still bound in the sort of restraints that you were. So look, I won't make you roll. You just break her free, right? But you sort of tear her through, and she sort of puts her hand on your face and goes, "Oh my God, what have they done to you?"
So I have a move though. Words of the past. I'm seeking guidance of one of my elders from the legacy.
So let me bring that move up and just read it through. This is one off the legacy move, right?
Yeah. Yeah, words of the past.
So what's the question you're asking them?
What do we do next? How do we stop them?
We've got to stop Helios, and I think Saimoki and Snakebite have done something to Servo. She's trapped somewhere. We've got to get the rest of the Titans out. We've got to stop this. So she looks at you and says, "We'll do everything we can to undo this. But right now, we've got to do what needs to be done." Are you able to do that? If you need to go, if you need your team to get out of here, I'll understand.
Get out of here. No, no, we're not getting out of here. we just, I just need some direction. But you just saw what my man just did over there, right? You really don't, you want to take a chance of that not being on our side when we need to go forward?
Okay. So this team needs to take care of Helios and get off this station safely. But first of all, we should probably get Dr. W out.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Tank. It's faint, but you can sort of hear a little comms signal, and you hear a Hackjack's voice, and she sort of whispers, "Carlos, is that you? Are you up here?"
And Tank sort of backs away from the rest of the team a bit, just instinctively, and says, "I'm here. Where are you?"
Says, "I've been hiding in the engineering systems and the vents. They've been looking for me. Have you got like a plan to get out of this place?"
"No, not really. Are you alone?"
Yep, that's the way it works best for me.
I think that hits Carlos kind of hard. So he looks a bit downtrodden, and but he says, "I'm going to try to lock onto your GPS signal. I'll try to find you."
Okay, so you're going to try and locate her, so it heighten or extend your senses, so that will be an unleash your powers.
All right. Unleash his freak, is that right? Yeah, so a 7.
So either marker condition, or I'll tell you how it's unstable.
Yeah, so he's going to take hopeless, given that he thinks that she's going to be a loner.
Cool. Okay, you've got a link to her. This thing is big. It's reinforced, though it's a space station, as you would call it now. Really, a damaged command ship from the fleet held in orbit around the sun. So this place is big, but you know where she is.
All right, and he says, "We'll come find you."
We? Who's with you?
"I've got the Vanguard with me, but don't worry, I'll bring them to you."
Okay. Glitch, as all of this is going off around you, how's Glitch? What's Glitch doing, and how are they dealing with things?
Well, I think initially Glitch, when you probably see with some of the panels in the background, Glitch kind of walking around. This is I mean, what does this room look like? Is this like a just kind of metallic?
Yeah, it's metallic. It's a archetypical sci-fi prison cell where the walls are force fields.
Yeah, so I think Glitch is kind of taking that in, but I think when he hears that Servo, when the name of Servo comes up, Glitch pauses, and I think Glitch sets to work to, we've established that he's had, Servo has kind of dropped off the map to some extent, right? And not necessarily completely unique, right? This has happened before, but he has been concerned about this. So I think with the name Servo comes up, Glitch goes to his, device that he uses to kind of communicate when he's mobile with Servo, and kind of pops in a connection to see if he can get any response from Servo.
Nothing. Your mind, though, does drift back to you were down in the Rethink Inc. tower and down in the cells just before you escaped. You did hear a voice on a specific frequency. So if maybe you were to try and hook onto that, you could do it, but you'd need to unleash your powers to be able to extend your senses to do that.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good move. So this is with Freak.
So with Freak, yeah.
All right. So this is very interesting. I rolled snake eyes, then a 3, and now I'm up to a 4. So it's getting gradually better. But my freak is +2, so that gives me a 6.
There's one in the team if someone wants to help you.
Actually, I think since I'm currently wired up with alien tech and I have super senses, that I'm able to boost your signal and give you a better shot at it. So I'll spend the team on that if you don't mind. But use their tech against them, kind of thing.
So that scrapes you into 7, where you can either mark a condition, or I'll tell you how it's unstable.
It seems like fictionally what would work best would be that it's unstable, because I mean the connection has always been kind of unstable. So I think we'll kind of continue with that.
So sort of you can hear it and say, Glitch, is that you? It's Servo. They've got me locked down. I'm in the machine. I'm in the AI running the city. I'm trapped. I can't get out. And then the connection drops.
Yeah, and Glitch, would be, he's trying to kind of keep that communication going, but he's become, increasingly frustrated now and very concerned, and says, he'll announce this to the other team. He'll say, Servo's in trouble, and they've got her kind of wired up somewhere running the AI of the system.
And before anyone responds, I just wanted to ask Tank to what their if Tank's still with us a second, what their reaction is to this alien tech that's been put onto the Popinjay.
Yeah, I was gonna react to that. I just didn't want to take the scene away from anyone. So
yeah,
I think sort of once he's done dealing with Hackjack, he really looks over at Popinjay for the first time, more or less, and says, my God, what have they done to you? And he walks over and like scans. You see this like the green light scan run up and down Popinjay's body. And then he says, thank God it doesn't look like you're infected. But inside the armor, you can see that he looks frustrated and pissed off that he's still the only one that's been infected by the nanites.
cool. So we see the team
saying that I can just rip this off of me.
Say that
Yeah,
again, Marco. Sorry, I say that again.
I said to Tank, so are you telling me I can just rip this stuff off of me?
yeah, man. A couple of cuts and you're good.
Um, I'm gonna try to get all this stuff ripped off my body, even if it turns out to be a really bad idea. I'm gonna start.
So as you pull it away in that way and rip it away with your hands, it's not removed safely. I'm going to ask you to take a powerful blow.
Okay. And I currently have 3 conditions.
That is correct.
Can Tank
So that brings
jump?
me to a 10.
So that brings it up to a 10. So you must remove yourself from the situation, lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Let's take a look at the 7 to 9 list. Question: what happens if you get all 5 conditions?
You are out effectively on 5 conditions.
How do we help him? How do we, like, we can't lose Popinjay. Is there anything we can do mechanically in this
I
moment?
think
I need Marco to make a choice first.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna, from the first list, I'm gonna take pass out. There's as I just go, okay, if it's safe to rip off, and then I rip it off, and as I'm tearing it off, there's a huge feedback of, whatever they did to knock me out just a few moments ago happens again, and I face plant.
So as it's torn away, what I will say is that what both, well, specifically, I think Tank will note that the code that's connected to this thing that was sort of holding the system on the tools in place, the cheat code that Hatchat warned you about with Maestro, the reason it's not infecting them is it's using some of Maestro's code. But Popinjay is now out for a period, right? So they sort of scream with pain, collapse to the ground, and they'll need to be, they need to effectively exit the scene to a degree until such time as the threat has passed.
I think Tank will walk over. Tank sort of reacts in a shocked manner when Popinjay just starts peeling stuff off his body and says, "Well, shit, man, I didn't know you were actually going to do it. It's never that easy with this stuff." As Popinjay falls to the ground, and then Tank like picks him up and says, "This is probably the safest place for you right now." And he places Popinjay inside the mech. Inside Bash's mech, and seals the hatch.
Okay. How do you react, Papillon?
I think Papillon is like still panting, comes back, and the butterflies are finally opening the cell for him to come in. He sees Tank putting Popinjay in the suit, and he'll I don't know, I think he'll notice so much of the armor got ripped off, and just sigh, go up to the suit, maybe right before Popinjay is closed in, and touch him, feel smile, because this time it's not a robot that he's touching. You silly bastard. We we have a med bay now. Oh, if you had just waited a few seconds longer. Be safe, dear.
Cool. So, what is the team doing next? Dr. W is still in his cage looking at everyone, or his bounds looking at everyone, going, yeah, at some point they'll let me out, right? Maybe one day. What? But how's the rest of the team reacting? What are they going to do? In what order? Bobby, what are you doing?
I think I would go over to Dr. W and try to get him out of the bonds. I'm super overwhelmed by this situation and could definitely use some mentoring. And I feel like probably he's going to be more inclined to do so if he's not in a cage. Also, I just care about him. So,
yeah, that's sort of problem. You find sort of the release switch and hit it, and the bond sort of, he pops out of them and gasps. He goes, oh dear, that was a terrible situation.
DW, this is a terrible situation. It wasn't a terrible situation before, and now it's not. It still is. Bob and Jay's like, God, I don't even know. He like turned into like this awesome rage monster, but then they like put stuff on his face, and then Tank said he could take it off, and then he just ripped it off, and now he's in the thing. And they're like doppelgangers running around that explode. What do we do? I gotta lead the team. How do I lead the team? There's too much going on.
This is clearly an orchestrated attack. We have to bring the Titans back together and re-marshal our forces. Let's get back to Earth and prepare ourselves for this. We're on the back foot.
How do we even know which Titans are Titans now? They've got doppelgangers running around and holograph robots or something.
They've stolen. That's what they stole from the vault. They've stolen some of the operating AI code from my defense bots. Terrible. That's IP theft and fraud. I'm going to sue them all. But in the first instance, back in the lab, there will be a detector. It will be easy to figure out whom is a real Titan and whom is a terrible imposter.
Okay, that actually makes me feel a little bit better. Like there's the okay. You see, Bobby B's essentially just talking himself down from a panic, right? Like now we have a thing that can help. Okay, so we get back to your office with the machine, right? That's step one. We have to get.
Yes,
do you know
absolutely.
if we can move Pop and Jay? Can we move him from this machine to our machine? We have a med bay now.
Oh, that's wonderful. We have 3. Why don't we head back to Titan Towers? And he sort of takes out something from his pocket, which he throws across the wall, and there's sort of a glimmer of energy, and you can see W Towers. It says, we'll make our way back to Earth. Come along now, orderly queue.
Tank puts his hand on Bobby's shoulder and says, can I talk to you for just a second? Privately?
Sure. Hold on a sec. DW, just hold on. Okay, I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna wander the direction wherever you want to take me to talk.
Bobby, Hackjack is on the station. We need to save her.
What? Why is she here?
I don't really know. But she'll die if she's up here, and we can't leave her alone. That's not what the Vanguard is for.
No, of course not. We save people, but how do you know she's not working with the bad guys? This is like the bad guy place, and she was here.
To be honest, I don't know that she's not working with the bad guys, but she's somewhere in the gray area in the middle, and we can't leave her behind.
Do you any way of confirming that this isn't like a trap?
No.
Man, leading this team sometimes sucks. Like, dang. All right, everybody. Vanguard meeting plus DW. We got to talk before we go through the awesome portal, which I don't know what else you can do, DW, but at some point you should probably tell me if you have any more really useful things like that, because we are doing some crazy stuff to get from place to place. And if you can just throw something at the wall, that looks easier. But anyway, can everybody come over here?
So I think, like, assuming once the team, David, you're muted.
I was going to wait to see if anyone's not coming over there. Otherwise, I establish that we're all surrounding Bobby B.
All right. We do have to get back to the Titans Tower. We've got a lot to do to, I don't even know at this point. Save the world? Who knows? Like, things are a bit over my head, but I'm doing my best. But apparently, y'all know she's not my favorite, but like, we're superheroes. This is what we do. Bobby B has his eyes closed. He's like talking himself into what he's about to say because he really just wants to leave. So what we do, we save people. So apparently, according to Tank, and I trust Tank, this is part of the team, Hackjack is here somewhere, somehow, for no reason that anyone knows of so far, and needs rescuing, and I don't think we should leave her here to her fate, even if she is a loser who deserted our crew. Because that's not what superheroes do. They rescue everyone.
I'm in. If just to kick more ass, take more names, and maybe show her the light.
I mean, if I were her, I'd be pretty scared of that, like, Mothra thing you had going. So maybe it'll work. But either way, we got to figure out where she is. Tank, you don't know where she is here? She's just here somewhere?
I've got a signal for her.
All right. So, into the fray, right, everyone?
I think Glitch would like to take Tank aside for a second, and and says, Tank, we both know Hackjack. Hackjack's very capable, but Hackjack is also somebody who gets into your head. Are you well, you say that you're not sure about this. This is potentially a setup. Hackjack has done that before.
I think she's in over her head, and whether she's on our side or not, and whether she's on my side or not, I think we've still got to get her out of here.
All right, but I think we need to be looking at each other's back when we do this, though, because we're in deep right now. But if Hackjack has something else kind of in store for us, we may be beyond deep.
Look, man, do you think I don't know that? And he kind of like pushes Glitch a little bit. This isn't about Hackjack being my girlfriend and us going to prom together. That's over. That's done. This is about us just doing the right thing.
Can I see that, like, Tank has pushed Glitch? Are you still with him?
Yeah, I don't think I think we would just be kind of a few steps off to the side with this.
Okay, so I think If it's okay, like Bobby B would. Oh, sorry. If there's a move going on, I don't want to interrupt it. Otherwise, Bobby B would step in at that point.
David,
So I was just saying, is there a move going on, Tank? Are you trying to provoke or tell them who they were or who they are, or is that just a role play scene?
not really. I think that's just role
Yeah,
playing. I
cool.
mean, he didn't like push him hard.
No, that's fine. So okay, so that means Bobby can enter then, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just sort of call out from still like where the main. I mean, at this point it's about half and half, but still, like, hey, Glitch, Tank, we don't have time for whatever you're arguing about. I've got some things to say as team leader before we move forward, and I'm gonna say them. So if you'll come over here and just give me like a minute, and then you guys can fight later when we're done saving everybody. Okay?
And as they're walking back, Tank's sort of sulking, and he says under his breath to Glitch, "Yeah, and then you can ride off into the sunset with your new reporter girlfriend."
That's cold. Sick burn.
Are you being mean, or do you want to spurn your point of influence or inflict a condition on Glitch?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Ooh, that's what we like.
So against what I'm about to say.
So what condition are you going to inflict? What condition maybe either you want to inflict, or does Glitch feel is appropriate to take?
I would.
Comes to mind.
Yeah, it's whether you're going to go down you feel like you've been chastised, or you're going to be angry about this. I suppose is the question, right? That's what I think.
But Tank gets to decide, right?
Yeah, I think for reading it, yeah. Which one do you want to inflict?
I think I want to inflict guilty.
He's already guilty.
Oh, he's already guilty. Then yeah, insecure I think is the best fit.
So I'm going to pass back to Bobby.
I don't know what's going on with you two. And I'm not thrilled about any of this, but I am the team leader, at least right now. And so the decisions and their consequences fall on me, which is frankly a little bit terrifying, but we, the Vanguard, do not leave people behind, not obnoxious reporters, not team deserters, not anybody, unless they're like a super bad guy. And even then, we try to like rehabilitate them because we're good guys. We're the good guys. And we work best when we work together. So Tank and Glitch, can you please put aside for now whatever your thing is? And the rest of us, we're going to go try to save Hackjack. And if it's a trap, then it's my fault. And you all can blame me. But if a member of the team says someone needs help, we help them. That's the Vanguard. So, you know, if you all want to make me not team leader anymore, I understand. But as long as I am, we're going to do the superhero thing. Okay? Can we all be in this together?
I think Papillon will smirk. Bobby B, can I talk to you privately? And then,
Oh my God.
then laughs like, "Nah, man, I'm in totally. Let's do this."
Oh, Jerry, I was going to have a brain aneurysm. Actually, Bobby probably doesn't know the word brain aneurysm, but yeah. Thank God. Don't scare me like that, man. This is a high-pressure situation. All right, so Jerry and I are in. Glitch, Tank, can you guys... You want to shake on it for a second that for now we're a team? You all can have some sort of weird tech fight later, but right now, Vanguard into the fray, right?
I mean, Glitch says, yeah, I mean, we're always a team. Look, you know, little little sparks come up, but you know, we're holding it together. We're with you.
Okay.
Tank just sort of like snaps his face mask back down.
That was awesome. Okay, good. Dr.
Gerald.
W,
Okay.
go ahead.
Oh.
And Jerry will just look at Dr. W and Peregrine's like, get my man back to Earth? We'll be there shortly.
I was just about to say something like that. Like someone should put a thing on Pop and Jay, but
Yeah, don't worry, says Peregrine. We'll look after him, Papillon. I think they'll take Papillon out. Sorry, Pop and Jay out of the suit, and then, as I say, move. They sort of jump through the portal back to Earth. And then we'll hit the third act of the game. But again, I think that's probably a good place for us to take a 5 or so minute break to refresh glasses of coffee and the like. And I'll see people back here, let's say 5 to the hour.
I have to.
Right, still here, Marco. What was you?
dance around the room while these.
Oh, realised I'd not restarted recording, and I would miss another one of your moments of truth. Special
You
power
did that
to do
in the other section?
Yeah, I've just got it recording. So go from the top again there, as you see this like Helios stood in front of you. You gave them lip this cosmic threat that no one has defeated before. How does Bobby B take them down?
I'm gonna throw in a quick Bobby B with the Vanguard, by the way, what up? And then I start playing music in my head, and I'm gonna use the technique from the maestro. He may be bad, but this is very useful against like a bunch of troops. And you see me start to phase in and out around the room. And as the troops, soldiers, I don't know what they are exactly. In fact, it would be helpful for this if you told me exactly what they were, just for me to be able to narratively.
They're power armored goons, right? So that's.
But there are humans inside. No,
aliens. They're from the Legion. They're not robots. They're from the same race as Vashi, so the purple aliens.
Okay. Do they have hearts or something similar?
Yep.
Awesome. So what I'm doing is phasing in and out, and I'm phasing in just enough to grab their hearts, and then phasing back out with their hearts. So one by one, they're just dropping because I am removing their internal organs and sending them into the void. And I get, I think Helios is sort of looking around like, what the fuck, you know? And I save him for last. And I say, school's out, bitch. And I like phase into Helios, and I take his heart, and I just reach for some other insides to be sure, since he seems pretty not defeatable, maybe his brain, and I phase them out of existence. And take my time a bit to do it, to make sure that he's seeing I was going to say, does he have other hearts? I will say I'll take whatever is needed, and I'll just keep phasing until he drops.
Okay. So you sort of, the rest of the team looks around to the carnage around them. Does anyone react?
Yeah, Tank's like Gatling gun was all spinning up, and all his like targeting reticles were, getting ready to fire everything off. And as all this ends, his helmet just snaps back, and he's got this shocked look on his face, and he says, "That was brutal, even by my standards. You just killed a whole lot of people."
Well, not people, technically. right? Alien bad
Still,
guys.
I mean, they may have families, dude.
Do they? I thought they were like just bad guys.
That
And
one's got like a
Helios
picture
was
of his kids.
what? No, what? Why are y'all doing this to me? I was defending the team. Okay, sorry. No, that's not what Bobby B says.
I do think
Look.
there's a panel though where like one of these dead goons has like a picture of his like family in his hand, like held out on the ground.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Fine. Look, do you want to save Hackjack or not?
Well, yeah. Whatever you say. I'm not
What
pissing
with
you off.
all those guns and things you were getting at? Were you not gonna kill people with those?
I was just going to cause a whole lot of injuries.
You think you have enough control over like firepower of that nature to only injure people? You think it's easy?
I'm just saying that was like graphic. I mean, that was like slasher movie graphic. But we can talk about this later if that's okay with you.
Look, I don't trust Hackjack. I'm doing this because you asked. You said your friend needed help, so I led the team in. I said I was going to take responsibility for everyone's safety. We were up against an army. I took responsibility for everyone's safety. You all can, like I said before, if you don't want me to lead the team anymore, then I won't lead the team. But as far as I knew, that dude in front of us was like one of the most dangerous beings that exists. And he had a whole army behind him. And I did what I felt like I had to.
Maybe this seems to be causing. Maybe we can do a script change about how Bobby B phased things to not kill everyone. But I actually have an idea from Ecstatics.
Mm-hmm.
There was a character named Lacuna who could phase through time and leave people displaced out of time.
Okay. That's fine with me.
It's like maybe you like literally time shift Helios back into the past where they cannot like before the or like phase their technology back before it was this.
Doesn't that leave the future open to Helios still becoming an unbeatable enemy?
Maybe or phase them out into a different different realm where there are no planets to be taken out.
Literally punched into another dimension.
Yeah, that works for me. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe just one by one they disappear. Ooh, I even like the idea of that I like appear with each one in like a waltz position and then I dance them out of existence or our existence and into a dimension that they won't be able to escape. So it's just like pop, 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 little dances all around the room, and then the army's gone, and then I do one final one. And like wink at everyone and like Bobby B as I wink out for a second and then come back and the room's empty.
Cool. So if you're watching or listening to the actual play here, we've just used a support and safety tool called Script Change, where there's a parallel universe where Bobby B goes like Wolverine crazy. But in this, as if Warren Ellis was writing the comic, but the editor decided that Warren Ellis's take on this just wasn't right. So we script changed this through into something which displaces but still removes Helios out of the scene. Okay? And that, ladies and gentlemen, how you consensually use safety tools to support your table. So thank you everyone there for doing that for me. Grand. So that's what we do. That's where we are. It's still friggin' impressive. So let's rewind back to the team reacting for the first moment.
Oh yeah, I think I want to share a moment of triumph with Bobby B, but the way it appears in the comic is just a very complicated handshake, high five, dance maneuver that we've been practicing on our own.
Can I add that I have finally taught you how to moonwalk, and at the end of it, we do like a moonwalk till we're back to back, and then turn around and high five?
Yes. And I think that'll all automatically answer my my triumphant celebration. Do you think I'm cool?
Oh, I super think you're cool, man. I've always thought you were cool.
We both gain influence over each other.
I think we have it already, don't we?
Yeah, so
It's still
yeah.
nice though.
Yeah, and we also add one team to the pool because we're teammates.
So in this one, I don't do my team move, right? It's only one person does a team move at a time.
I think with this triumphant celebration, I'm doing this because we both used our moment of truth. You can definitely use your triumphant moment as well.
Because I would also like to share that moment with you. I'm pretty psyched, like especially because we get to do our moonwalk maneuver for the first time in front of everybody. What up? So after the high five, I'm like, Papillon, you're awesome. And it says I should tell you how you're awesome, but I think you know. Like, I don't think it needs a big explanation.
Yeah, I think, and Papillon places his, was moonwalking, and now we're back to we're facing each other. Puts his hand on your shoulder. Nah, man, we're awesome.
I'm gonna go in for like the hug if you'll have it. If you don't want a hug, that's okay. All right, then I'm gonna go in for the hug, and like give you a big clap on the back. It's very heartfelt, and we can add 2 team to the pool from my triumph sharing move.
And what label are you going to lock after your moment of truth? Because I have to shift your labels.
Right.
You have to shift mine. I locked danger.
Wait, we shift each other's labels?
Yeah, because we both gain influence over each other because of my triumphant celebration.
Okay. What should I lock? Oh, but you haven't shifted mine yet, right? Or did we do that first? Sorry.
You would lock yours first because you did your moment of truth, then I would shift.
Okay. I will lock Savior, I think. I know it's not like fully up. But 2 is better than most things, I think, And you use a lot of my moves, so I
will move danger down and freak up, because that was an amazing use of power.
Awesome. Thank you. And you locked your danger, you said?
Correct.
I hope this isn't bad. The thing is, I don't want to like move your labels in a bad way, but my thought is to move your mundane down and your either superior or savior up.
It's fine. Literally none of my moves work off any label. Do how you feel.
So yeah, I'm going to move your mundane down, and I'm going to move your superior up because you're totally awesome, as our team move stated. So, yeah. Super awesome.
You are muted, David.
Does anyone else want to do anything roleplay wise there, or characterization wise, or should we'll cut to
well, there was something potentially that I would do, which is take a foolhardy action. This would depend on whether or not Hackjack is around. I mean, if Hackjack is not visible, I think while, when Glitch sees Bobby B taking care of business, I think Glitch is gonna, head off, taking whatever information he had from Tank, what he's known about where Hackjack might be, also my knowledge of the way Hackjack operates, to go off and find Hackjack.
Yeah, so you're trying to effectively to slip the scene. So this is all happening. Slip away. I think that feels achievable. You knew where she was, so yeah, I think you walk into the engine area or the sort of systems room she was in. She was expecting to see Tank, and looks you up and down and goes, "Hi, Glitch. How are you? Where's Tank?"
Tank is with the rest of the team doing a dance with the Legion, with Bobby B busting out the moves. But you're the one why we decided not to make our exit, and here you are. How have things been?
Oh, you know, trapped and imprisoned on an alien space station, circling the sun. Really poor, Netflix out here. How about you?
Well, Glitch kind of looks at the engine. This is the engine room, you say.
Yeah, sort of like the engine control room. So,
Well, to be honest, this place looks a little bit more put together than our place at present.
yeah, you always were messy.
Well, Messy doesn't capture even a fraction of what our place looks like right now.
And you want to pin this on me, or maybe you just want to get out of mine and Carlos's way.
Look, Hackjack, I think the dance may be wrapping up in the other room, and I'm not really, as nice as this place looks, I'm not inclined to want to stay here any longer than we need to.
So, are you here to rescue me? Am I rescuing you? Do we need to rescue Tank? What's the play here, Skippy?
Yeah, I mean, Skippy. I mean, I assume that that's what Hackjack uses when I don't know. I think my impression is that like that's what Hackjack uses because Hackjack thinks it's kind of like a silly name, right? And Glitch, with that, I think you see him kind of his like digital DNA kind of fizzles him a little bit, and he kind of shakes it off and says, "Look, Hackjack, I don't think it really matters who is rescuing whom, but I think whatever the case, we need to make our way back to solid ground, as they say."
She sort of walks towards you and looks you up and down and looks you in the eyes and sort of prods you in your chest and says, "What's your problem with me?" Everything I've done, I've been looking for a way to save Carlos. And I found a way, and you can get out of my damn way because I'm going to save him, and we're going to be just fine without you and your weird, glitchy nonsense.
Okay. But look, I don't really think Carlos needs saving. I think Carlos is capable of taking care of himself.
She looks at you and says, "That's why you're a shitty friend." Skippy, because you can't see the pain that he's in every day. I think she's likely got influence over you, so she's telling you who you are.
Yeah, and I think Glitch is going to try to reject the influence. So, and so to do this, I forget what the. So I to reject the influence.
It's a flat 2d6 roll. No modifiers needed.
All right. So I've rolled a 2, a 3, and a 4. Now this if we're keeping it. I rolled a 10 on this.
So on a hit, you successfully hold on to yourself and tune them out. On a 10, you choose 2 from the list. So clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up or down. Or cancel an influence and take +1 forward against them.
So I get 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm okay, can you do the same one twice? Like can you
No.
No, you got to do. All right. So I think I will clear a condition and then I'll cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay. So she sort of just looks up and down and so her words unmove you. Said, "You're an ass. You're more machine than human. I can't stand to look at you." And she walks past you, and I think the door opens down to reveal the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I think that Glitch will when she comes out with that comment about not being human, Glitch will just say, "I'm at peace with who I am. Too bad you can't say the same about yourself."
She looks at Tank as they come in and says, "I'm glad to see you at least, Tank. I still see you hanging out with some swell old friends around here."
So Tank's got his like targeting screen up, but instead of showing reticles on everybody after like the dance move, it's showing like the ballroom dancing diagrams that show like where you're supposed to put your feet, and he's trying to follow it. But as soon as he sees Hackjack come in, obviously that gives away.
Yeah.
And he runs over and stops awkwardly in front of her and says, "We came to rescue you."
You came to rescue me. He came to lay the smack down and points at Glitch.
Hackjack?
Bobby?
Oh, good. You remember me. What up? Anyway, Tank is right. We came to rescue you, including Glitch. And I would prefer for you not to disrespect a member of the crew when you have already deserted us like a loser. And we came to save you anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid one of the reasons that I did leave is I don't give two rats ass about what you think I can and can't say.
And yet you needed some rescuing. So for all your like big talk now, I didn't see you getting out of here or taking out an entire room of bad guys by waltzing them out of this existence. And I kind of think maybe you should show some like humility. You gave a call to a member of the team. We came. We're gonna get you out of here. stop being a jerk.
She just
Can we have this argument on Earth,
she
please?
just looks at you and rolls her eyes in a total like whatever move, and then looks back to Tank and say, "The only thing I've ever needed from this team was you, Tank, and I know how to save you." But for Papillon is right. Let's get out of here.
I'm gonna murmur to Tank as I start to head back. You sure I shouldn't just waltz her out of existence too?
And Tank kind of, like, Tank's armored head goes down and he says, right now I'm not sure about anything.
Yeah, I'm not either, but you've got her if she tries anything, right?
I don't think anyone's got her.
I mean, I could, but I'm saying, like, you've got all your gadgets that, like, you can, you know, you wanted us to
you
come
mean-
get her. Can you be
you mean,
responsible for her?
Can I, like, neutralize her? Yeah, sure.
Just if needed. Not for sure, but, you know, she's kind of not a nice person, and sometimes not nice people are also bad guys. I've noticed.
Tank sighs and says, let's just get back home.
Okay, but if she turns evil and you don't do something, I will wink her out of existence. Just letting you know. And I'm saying that last bit only loud enough that she can hear it. But we are heading towards, I guess, the portal that would still be up.
Yeah.
From DW. So yeah, we'll just keep walking. But I'm just putting it out there. Can wink people out of existence.
Cool. So we're back on Earth. I suppose in the ruins of Reclamation Point. And as you're back there, sort of, Hackjack sort of says, Tank, can we talk alone without, like, threats of existential death from the rest of your team?
Yeah, I think so. And so I'll take Hackjack back to, I guess, like the lounge, the meeting area. I assume that Popinjay is down in, like, the med bay.
I think he's with the Titans, but yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's say here. Yeah, let's say he's here. Because we haven't had let's do that. But that means I think that Paragon will be here as well. Says, I'm pretty sure this is the code that we can use to save you, to get you out of this. I know your friends don't like me, but I don't give two rats' asses about what they think. I only care about what you think.
Yeah, when you said pretty sure, how sure are you?
You know, it's the sort of thing where it hasn't been done anymore before, and maybe we should get Servo to run some simulations, but, you know, pretty sure.
Look, and Tank sort of walks away from her and says, look, nobody here trusts you right now. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because you can save my life. We'll deal with all the other stuff later.
So, do you trust me, Carlos?
I want to trust you, and I want to trust that code that you've got. This is life or death for me, Hackjack.
She takes it's like a memory chip. There's, like, data flipping around it in a double helix, and she sort of checks it over to you and says, I got that out of whatever Maestro and Helios were working on. I don't give two rats' asses about anything other than this. do what you got to do, but the only thing I need is you. And she steps forward and kisses Carlos square on the lips.
And I think he kind of pulls away instead of returning the kiss, and he says, "We'll see what happens with this first." And he holds up the helix.
So she sort of pulls back and looks visibly hurt. Says, "Whatever you want to do, I'm out of here."
And as she's walking away, he says, "I put my team in danger for you. I hope you know what that means."
She sort of turns around and looks at you and says, "I put my life in danger for you. I hope you know what that means." And then she steps through into the digital world.
And, Papillon is down there with Pop and Jay, right?
Yeah.
Has he been able to hear most of this?
I will leave that to Stephen to decide whether anyone heard those conversations or not.
I'm open to anyone who feels like they would have been trying to listen in.
I mean, did I at least see like the kiss that got like? Was I able to see it more? I don't need to like hear every last sentence of it, I guess.
Yeah, you can see or have heard as much as you wanted, I think, is what Stephen has just.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think,
I'm totally fine with anyone else that wants to have been like paying attention, seeing that.
I certainly, for one, want to see relationship advice from Papillon to Tank. That's a scene worth seeing, right?
Yeah, I think Papillon has been beside Papa J the entire time, like supporting him, holding his hand, like seeing like Vash, properly remove the rest of the cyborg parts from him.
Yeah, it's like, it says Flyboy's going to have a scar after this one, but he'll be fine. I think Peregrine is there as well, and said, "You came for us, Papillon. I think I've underestimated how strong your bond is to Popinjay."
Look, I came for him. You've not been the nicest about our relationship so far. You were a collateral saving. So, look, I'm serious about Pop and Jay. I'm serious about being with Jay. If you want to stand in our way, well, I summoned Mothra once, I can do it again. If you don't, I would love your blessing, ma'am.
I think she sort of smiles wryly at you and goes, "Do you know what, Papillon? I can't think of anything which honors our legacy better than the bond that you two have formed."
So, Pop and Jay opens his eyes and just says, "Hey, hero, thanks for coming for me." And then he like reaches up, grabs him, and pulls him down for a kiss. And then afterwards says, "But if you think that was a proposal the other day, you're gonna have to start re-examining yourself. That was cute for a date, but we're handling something serious like that, like grown-ups." Just kind of collapse back into the.
Yeah, and I think Jerry blushes and looks at Peregrine's like, I really would like your blessing, man. I'm kind of old-fashioned, and I promised my brother I'd end up proposing to him, and I need to plan. Oh, my God, I need plans.
You want my blessing? Sure, you can have my blessing. But do you think we can save the city first?
I think it's a possibility, but, this is a bit awkward as I just kissed your nephew in front of you. Well, he kissed. Either way, my teammate seems to need me. And he'll, like, sort of scooch over to Tank. every time I meet with family, it's awkward. That seemed awkward with you, too. Oh, is Steven not here?
Sorry, I got called away for just a minute. What'd you just say?
After Pop and Jay has kissed me and fainted back on the med lab, I've made my clever and very witty escape from Peregrine and come over to you. It's like, yeah, every time I'm with family, it ends up being awkward. Kind of like what happened with you and Tack Jack. How is that going?
What, you saw that?
I saw what looked like a very nice kiss end up extremely awkward, like a, teen drama awkward, like watching Twilight with your mom awkward.
Yeah, I think she's using me, but I guess I'm not any better. And he holds up the helix.
Look, really, I don't think she's using you. I don't think she would put herself on the line to save you if she didn't actually care about you. And I get it. You're dangerous. I don't know the full extent of your powers, and I just assumed that you would be pulling away because you didn't want her to get too close to you because you didn't know if it'd work.
Man, at some point, I don't even care anymore. I'm just desperate for this to work. You don't know what it's like having the sword of Damocles hanging over your head all the time.
I may not know what it's like to be a living weapon, but I know what it's like to have everyone put their beliefs, hopes, and dreams into you and weigh you down so much you don't know if you're ever going to get out of it. You will live. You have a chance at life. We took down those aliens today. If she can't save you, I won't rest until you're saved.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Sounds like a comfort and support.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that hits his, I know that always hits his team move. So I'm sure that Papillon has influence over him already.
I do. And I got a 10 on my comfort and support with that influence.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mark potential. Okay, and what's
I will add a team to the pool for my 10 plus since I have no conditions.
Yeah, so I'll actually add 2 potential because that'll hit my team move as well. All right. I'm good with that kind of being seen. I think yeah. The next thing that Tank's gonna want to do is like test that out, but that can happen later.
Yeah, and Pop and Jay did ask if the med bay cleared any conditions.
I think yeah, let's say it'll clear a condition, but condition, it's not really physical damage that conditions cover, really, is it? So it's emotional damage. So I think you can stop potentially feeling afraid. Because you were taken out from the difficult thing and made to feel better, but the other two it's more emotional damage than physical damage, so they'll still need to be role played off or sorted through comfort support, team moves, and the like.
Great, thank you. I clicked that one.
So say the rest of the team is, well, you're all together. Does anyone want any more intercharacter scenes at this present moment in time? Because lots have happened up there.
I was. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead, Robbie.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
Paul.
I just you know, Tank went off with Hackjack and Jerry was with Pop and J, and I think Bobby B would have liked to take a moment with Glitch. And my hope is that it does some mechanical things, but I'd like to do it even if it doesn't, so it's fine. But like sort of a comfort and support thing with saying like, Hackjack, like don't listen to her. I mean, like, we fought through a whole alien army to rescue her, and she was a jerk to all of us. I don't know what your history with her is, but don't let her get to you. You're awesome and a member of Vanguard, which is obviously the best crew. And I'm so happy you're here that I want, I'm gonna ask you if you will, like, share some victory dancing with me, because I feel the dance coming on, and I'd love to have you just join me in celebrating Vanguard, regardless of what anyone else thinks.
And Glitch says, you know, Bobby, that does mean a lot to me, and I'd love some lessons on some moves. And I tell you what, Bobby, that things I thought were dicey up there on Helios, but I saw you starting to take care of the Legion. I wish I could have seen the whole shebang. But look, you're. I know that taking on the leadership role has been sometimes challenging. We aren't exactly the group that's easy to deal with. But I tell you what, Bobby, you've got us working together in ways that I didn't think were ever going to be possible.
Man, that means so much to me, because I wasn't really sure I was doing a good job, to be honest. I mean, I'm trying to do a good job. But, well, anyway, the point is, it means a lot to me. And also that, like, I mean, I'm sorry you missed some of that too, because it was, like, super rad. It was really fun taking out a whole room and all that, not gonna lie. But you, like, why were we there? We were there to get Hackjack. Who went and got Hackjack? You. Right? So let's dance, man. What's your favorite tune?
I don't know. He I think Glitch probably doesn't have the best musical taste. Probably likes like some type of kind of industrial techno, very clangy music.
That's fine, Bobby. You can dance to anything, and he is gonna throw himself into it. And so I wanted that to be either a comfort and support role, if that seemed appropriate, or to try to wait. Let me make sure I'm thinking this correctly. Yeah, no, just comfort and support. Like, it could be a victory dance, but we already did that, so I feel like I shouldn't try to use the same move twice. So comfort and support for Glitch.
Sure,
If
roll comfort
you
and support.
feel okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that failed, but I'd still like to dance.
Yeah, I think Glitch is happy, kind of engaging in the dance. I don't think Glitch really moves particularly well either, or at least the way that he moves is very strange. He has, the digital DNA just gives him a very kind of, he's never able to kind of quite smoothly and organically move across the dance floor.
That's cool. With electronica and industrial, you got it down. Man, you're kicking it.
And
Bobby B does like a head spin on the floor.
And at the end of this, I think Glitch will tell Bobby, look, I appreciate what you said about not letting Hackjack get to me. And quite frankly, I think, Hackjack, we had a thing in the past, but look, Hackjack continues to burn bridges with me. What I'm worried now is about Hackjack getting into Tank's mind.
Well, who better than us to counter that, right? If she's after one of the Vanguard, we're gonna stop her. Right? Like, we got this. If we can take out a bunch of space aliens on a different space station, we can convince one of our teammates not to hang out with a jerk.
I hope so. But Tank, look, I think Tank has more than just kind of alien hardware creating interference.
Well, then let's go figure out what it is. Weren't we all supposed to go to the Titan Tower anyway? They're probably waiting for us. Right? The Titan. So we'll all go, and we can talk to Tank on the way. And then, if something needs to be done, the Titans can do it. Right? Like, DW has something like a gadget for every. I don't know how they managed to capture him, frankly. Bizarrely well equipped for what was that portal thing? Can we get one of those for the anyway? The point is, if anybody can solve this stuff, it's them, and we're gonna go there and we're gonna save our teammate, just like we save everybody else. Right into the fray for each other, at least as much as everybody else.
By teammate, you mean Servo?
I mean, I meant Tank, but
yeah,
also Servo.
Yeah, I think if Servo comes up, that Glitch obviously gets that worried look on his face, because it seems increasingly apparent that Servo is in need of some type of rescue.
And that simultaneously saves the city, right?
Yep.
So I think Bobby has it 100% right. Let's go get with all the Titans that are still up and fighting, and be the first into the fray, because we're the Vanguard.
That's right. Who's up for saving the world?
Yeah, it'd be nice to, be conscious this time.
We got you.
And I think as Pop and Jay is talking about it, it'll be nice to be conscious this time. It's like Jerry will come up behind him. It's like, hey, like look kind of mad, with the anger look on his face. Warn me next time. Like this, I'm going to kiss you. And he just gets on his tiptoes, kisses Pop and Jay, and want to try and comfort and support him into more fitting shape.
Okay. Okay.
So my last conference support went well. Hopefully this one will too. That is another 10. So I will add more team to the pool.
And I can remove a condition.
You may, or mark potential, or shift your own labels, but probably want to get rid of a condition.
Yeah. I'm not insecure anymore. I'm confident, but I'm still pretty pissed. So I'm gonna get my comeuppance against these guys.
Okay. So should we shift the scene to W Global and the Titan Towers, where all of the Titans are present except Servo. You can see, excuse me, you can see there is a on the news and video feed. In A Town, you can see this repeating broadcast of Madame Bancho going, see, me and my special ghost army, we run this town now. A Town belongs to me. And you can sort of see, you know, what has gone wrong around the city. The AI has shut down the police, the emergency services, the comms, and the Titans are looking concerned and serious. And I think at that point, Peregrine sort of looks at the team as they arrive and says, "So this is a major threat. I know the answer is yes, but are you ready for the big leagues?"
Been there, done that a couple of times. Win first in. So how did the lead on Servo?
Actually, I'm going to say, when I said everyone's there, I think Norton's not. I think Norton's actively fighting Bancho down in A-Town. But I think they said, we're going to need, we need to get this, we need to stop them. This AI is thwarting our effort. It's got the defenses in the city turned against us. The doc has got his sensor, which should allow us to identify who are AI clones and who aren't. We can't find Servo. She's missing. And he says, he points that, and Bancho's got an army of 50 or 60 super goons and has decided to annex part of the city.
I think Glitch will jump in and say, "Look, I don't know where Servo is. What I do know, though, is they are using Servo to run the AI, and that may not give us the exact location, but it at least cuts things down considerably, because Servo has to be at some place where they could have her hooked up to help running the AI, to help run the AI on the city."
And I think that's a point where the digital world unfolds and Hackjack is sort of standing there in front of all you and says, "I know where she is and I know how we can get her out. And I'm afraid that only Glitch and Tank are going to be able to cross over into the threshold of the digital world. Now, do you trust me, you asshole?" And she is directing that at Tank.
Tank looks back at her and says, It doesn't sound like we have a choice.
Just
Oh,
says, I can do it myself.
No, we're coming.
Dude, what's your like hang up? You're so rude all the time. What's your deal?
Well, you did promise. You did say you could waltz her out of existence. I think
She
she has a reason.
insulted a bunch of us first. We went there and saved her, and she was like, I don't give a rat's ass about this. I don't care what all of you say. Meh, meh, meh.
Oh
I
my
only
God.
care.
Bobby.
I'm just saying, she's rude.
I know. She's a villain. She's trying to redeem herself. Baby steps.
Is she a villain trying to redeem herself?
I don't think she's a villain. Some people.
I just think she's a jerk. I'm not saying she's like a terrible person. Just that maybe she could like hold off with the rudeness. That's all.
Hank, Glitch. If you've got this, we can handle the meat space. You go with Hackjack. You handle this stuff. I mean, watch each other's backs.
And what was it, 50 or 60 goons? Not a problem.
And of course, behind all of this is the maestro, puppet mastering everything. So it's Dr. W.
Wait, what?
Well, this is the maestro's game plan, isn't it? He's brought them all together for the next to thwart me and to put the city that we love under their control. It's the sort of thing that the maestro does.
Are you like 100% sure that that is the case in this instance, and that he is not like seeing the error of his ways and just trying to live his best life?
Bobby, sorry, Robert. He would say, Robert, you are a brave and a noble individual, but you are not. The maestro is dangerous and will manipulate anyone and everything at any opportunity they get just to thwart and upset me. If you ever were to come across them, run. If you were to have dealt with them at any point, you could be compromised. It's terrifying. You haven't had any dealings with the maestro, have you?
Well, it's a funny story. You know, I just, Tank and Glitch, you should probably go with Hackjack, who is so nice, and save Servo now. Into the fray, Vanguard. Right?
So Tank is gonna step up to Hackjack and say kind of quietly, I'm out of options and you know that. I'm going to come with you no matter what. But are you on the level? Will Skippy be safe?
Are you going to pierce her mask?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pierce the mask.
I'm going to be listening to her heartbeat at this moment so that I'll be ready to give a teen if it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 7.
So you can ask one question.
What are you really planning?
She's planning to help you rescue Servo and actually believe in her. So I'm on the level, you arrogant, idiotic, blind asshat.
Okay, so Tank nods and says, all right, Skippy, let's go. You're muted.
Does Skippy hear that? I mean, his
I'm happy. I think address that to if, as long as Stephen's happy, then I'm happy.
um, okay. So Glitch says I'm ready to go, but Tank, a quick word with you. And he'd like to have a private conversation with Tank.
All right. I think there's a panel that just shows Tank rolling his eyes and then again walking off with Skippy.
Okay, and when we get where we're having this private conversation, Skippy gets a very serious look and says, Tank, at this point, I don't really care about the relationship between myself and Hackjack, and I don't care really where your relationship with Hackjack goes. But one thing that you need to get through your thick head is you need to stop worrying about, how do I put this? You need to stop letting her manipulate you because of your insecurities. That incident up at Helios Station with Poppin' Jay, where you got Poppin' Jay to rip off that tech gear because you convinced him that it was somehow modifying who he was. He was the same guy. It doesn't matter what kind of tech gear, what kind of alien gear, what kind of alien DNA you have going inside. We are still who we are. And you need to kind of get that through your thick skull and not let Hackjack or anybody else manipulate you because they somehow convince you that you are less than who you are. And I think what I'm going to do is, if this is okay, I will give up my influence, because I currently have influence over Tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to give that up and inflict the condition of guilt on him.
Okay.
Yay, for going into battle with conditions inflated by each other. Does Tank want to say anything, or is that just a flip the page?
I think just flip the page.
Cool. So we flip the page, and I think the three of you step through into the digital world. And then I say, Dr. W says, well, the rest of us are going to seek out and capture the Maestro. Can the Vanguard deal with A-Town?
Deal with who? Sorry, out of character.
Can the Vanguard deal with A-Town and Madame Bancho?
Oh, right. I think so. I mean, we're sort of divided, which I don't like because we usually work best as a complete team. But Papillon, Papa J, we got this.
We got this.
We definitely got this.
It's 50 goose. Whatever.
All right, then. Yeah, you can count on us.
Madam Ban. Down before too.
Marco, you've gone really quiet. Can we give Marco some quiet and let him say whatever he's going to say again then?
That we've taken down Madam Bancho with the good.
Did I make that out correct? Is he talking about Mrs. Kim's that we took out, Madame
I can't.
Bancho?
I think you dropped again, Marco. I don't know if it's audio. I couldn't hear really what you were saying there.
He's also frozen now. I think
Yeah.
his-
Okay, his connection's gone again. Okay, look, it's whatever uplifting thing they say. I think that is the last frame of the comic. We turn over the page. However, we had do a letters page before for a while. Who's got the letters page this week?
Oh, I think this should be the entire team. Like everyone takes their own letter into a private sidebar.
I'm certainly looking forward to etiquette lessons from Bobby B. So the page flips, the image, the back cover, and the little side comment of ... to be concluded. So we will enter into end of session moves, and we'll do a round of stars and wishes. But I'm going to go as I see you in reverse order on my screen. I'm going to ask Marco if you're with us to go first on your end of session move. No, I think Marco's totally frozen. So I'm going to ask Pearl to end a session move.
Definitely closer to the team. And who was it? It's like lots of people this time. But I think just because I was already really close to Papillon, so like I remain close to Papillon and feeling like he makes me feel part of the team. But my dancing with Glitch actually meant a lot to me. So I think Glitch would be the person that I would give influence to. Also the like everyone but Glitch when he was off with Hackjack dance move when the whole team danced was like Bobby B's dream come true. So thank you all for that.
Is that who you're giving influence to? Sorry, I think you may have cut out for me there. Who you?
To Glitch.
Yeah, cool.
Or
Glitch, do you already have influence over Bobby?
I had lost it, but so I've regained it.
Cool. Tank is next. Tank.
Yeah, I think Tank actually grows into his own image of himself, and I interpret that as, you know, he's finally got this means to possibly save his life, and that's what he's completely focused on, more or less, kind of to the detriment of everything else. So I'm going to shift Mundane up and Savior down.
Cool. Papillon.
I think I grew close to the team, and like Bobby was saying, I remain close to Popinjay. I think I grew closer to Tank. So I will give influence to Tank.
Tank, do you already have influence?
I do already have influence on Papillon.
So what labels would you like to shift?
I think I'll shift his Superior down and his Savior up.
Okie dokie. And Glitch.
Is that cool with you, Jerry?
Yeah, with I don't know, with Glitch, did I grow close to the team or did I grow into my image of myself? I think I'll go with the grew closer to the team. despite the friction at the end with Tank. But I do think that seeing Bobby B kind of come into his own, and then having that kind of scene afterwards, I think that really I think which has been kind of inspired by both seeing what Bobby B is doing, but even more by the fact that Bobby is kind of really kind of learning how to kind of be a leader, and then kind of trusting Glitch to kind of share that kind of moment with him, I think meant a lot to him.
Excellent. Pop and Jay, are you back with us? I think that's probably a no, unfortunately. So,
Popping
look,
in and freezing almost immediately.
yeah, something's obviously not quite right there. Look, so we'll do some cooldown with some stars and wishes around with stars first, and then back around for any wishes, especially as next time it's our final session. Anything that we, especially that you want to see or hit. So, Robbie, can we do stars from you first?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the way the whole